Top story now, and the diplomacy in Geneva over Iran's nuclear program. And joining me from Washington, D.C. to discuss the talks in Geneva, there he is, Joe Cirincione. Joe is the president of Ploughshares Fund, which focuses on nuclear weapons policy and conflict resolution. He is also a member of Secretary of State Kerry's International Security Advisory Board. Joe, as always, great to have you on the program. Let's spend a few minutes here talking about these issues, all right?
Sure, thanks for having me.
Let's work it through here. How close do you believe the sides are to a deal?
Oh, I think it's very unlikely Secretary Kerry would have gone to Geneva if we weren't very close to getting a deal. I expect a deal over the weekend. It's just a question of whether it's Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, maybe slipping into Sunday. But you see the foreign ministers of all the countries have now converged on Geneva. We're going to get a deal.
Okay, so let's work through this. The points of the deal as we know them at the moment. The deal would limit the numbers and the capacity of the centrifuge machines Iran uses to enrich uranium, and also to prevent Tehran from commissioning a heavy water nuclear reactor capable of producing weapons-grade plutonium. And those are some of the bigger points of the deal. There's some others as well.
Those are some of the elements. Right, and those are the kinds of things that are being hammered out now. How strict are those limits?
Yeah.
Are we limiting the quality of the centrifuges, the number of the centrifuges? Will they really agree to delay bringing online this new reactor? Those are the kinds of fine points you're hammering out right now. Almost certainly the deal will include Iran's agreement to stop enriching to 20% uranium. And the danger is that once you get to that kind of level, you can make a dash to a bomb. In a matter of weeks, you could turn that kind of uranium into the core of a bomb. By stopping that, you've really accomplished one of your major goals. You've put more time on the clock, you've lengthened the fuse, you prevented Iran from quickly being able to build a bomb.
Okay. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as you know, utterly rejects the deal. His words, in quotes, utterly rejects it. And tell me why, and is it a good strategy from the Prime Minister as you view it?
Well, apparently, Prime Minister Netanyahu is concerned about two things: that we're being taken for a ride, that these limits are not really all that serious, and we will dismantle our sanctions regime, what's brought Iran to the table in the first place, and then Iran will somehow sprint to get a nuclear capability a year from now, 2 years from now. And the other, which I think is the more profound point, anytime there's a strategic shift, those most affected by that change get nervous. And this deal between the U.S. and Iran could really be about much more than just the nuclear issue, and that's big enough. It could be about a rapprochement between these two powers, one that could fundamentally alter the power relationships in the Middle East, and that's what makes the Prime Minister nervous. He's afraid that a gain in U.S.-Iranian relations might be a loss for Israel.
Joe, so let me pick up on that point, because I think that's one of the big ones underpinning a lot of this. A deal would be significant, right? But could it lead to cooperation from the Iranians on Syria, on Iraq, on Lebanon and Hezbollah?
Yes. Well, that is why so many people are paying so much attention to this. The deal in and of itself is significant. It would reduce one of the major nuclear threats to the region and to the United States, the one that gets more attention than all the other nuclear nightmares together. But it also could start building or rebuilding the relationship between the U.S. and Iran, the kind of arrangements we had before the revolution, with the Shah, this time not as a client state, but no longer as an adversary, no longer as an enemy, more like the relationship Nixon built with China and Mao, one where we manage our differences. And here, U.S. and Iranian strategic objectives actually overlap. We both have an interest in a stable Iraq. We both have an interest in a stable Afghanistan. We both have an interest in defeating al-Qaeda. We both have an interest in ending the slaughter inside Syria. Now, we come at this from different points of view, but those overlapping objectives could lead to a geopolitical transformation in the region.
Joe, terrific. Appreciate you hustling in to talk to us today. This is a big